Hey YouTubers, and welcome back to another episode here on ESGNet. And this is NCAA 13 football. This is the Nebraska Cornhuskers Dynasty. This is episode 17. Episode that a lot of you guys have probably been waiting for. It's been 3 years since I played this series. Yeah, I know. And for a while here, I've been wanting to replay this series, or at least get back into it. If you guys remember, we actually won the national championship, and we had a perfect season, 14-0 in overall, but 9-0 in the conference there. And we had some pretty good games there. As you take a look, there are a lot of close games. And finally, like I said, win the national championship as we went against number 6 Oklahoma. At the time, they were the I think actually number 5 going into that game, but. After we win that one, 38-13, we win that national championship there, and we move on. Now, since then, well, there's been a lot of things going on. This was actually one of the most semi-popular series here on the channel, and it was one of the series I was really hoping for to play. Multiple seasons like that, but of course, life gets in the way. And you gotta kind of push stuff like this off to the side for a while, and hope think one day, oh, I'm gonna get back to it. Well, with all this buzz about college football, and of course football coming back, NFL season's about to start up. College football is about to get in full gear here in about another week or two. I just got me thinking. I'm like, you know what? It's gonna be a while before we get a college football game, because there are talks about them coming back. And I think there's one out there right now that I think another publisher is making. I think it's called Gridiron something. But I told myself, I'm like, you know what? Let's dust off NCAA 13. I'm not a big fan of 14 because 14 they just has a lot of quirks and especially with the scouting and stuff like that. But then again, a friend of mine told me how to do how to work with this point system on there, and so I've been kind of tinkering with it. I use a copy of his game, but I think to myself, like, okay, if I get that, I may do that. And there's going to be I'll go ahead and say it now because eventually there will be a video about it. I don't know when this video is actually going to be put up, but there will be a video about me starting a new series for that game. Which I'm going to create my own college. Actually, I'm going to create my old automaton. I'm going to either create, actually two of them are the schools I went to. The JUCO school that I went to, which is Highland Community College, or I went to Emporia State here in Kansas, in Emporia, Kansas, which I graduated and got my Bachelor of Fine Arts in Communication and Mass Media. So yeah, I was gonna possibly start on that series, and I still am. I'm gonna possibly try to start on here soon, because I was really focused on this year is play a lot of this game and also Madden 18 when it comes out. So as you take a look here, we're looking at the standings right now of the leaders and of course the Legends division, which are now been renamed as the East and West divisions now. But in this game, I am going to try my best. Now, all the teams all the current NCAA schools are not in this game because remember, this is 1 year before they added the new schools like Georgia State and a couple others they added to the list of Division I schools. So yeah, you won't see none of those schools in there. But I'm going to try my best to try to reconfigure and redo a lot of the conferences and stuff like that, so to make it a little fun and exciting and stuff and all that kind of stuff. Now going through this, when I was actually making this video up, I was kind of thinking like, okay, I don't remember exactly where I left off at. Did I leave it off? I originally thought I left off in the middle of the season, but then I looked at some notes that I take because my games I always take some notes on who I drafted or who I recruited. And then just kind of compare their overalls and their numbers and stuff compared to their when their first year compared to their 4th or 5th year being within the dynasty and stuff. So as you'll see here, there's a lot of familiar names. You got Matt Berkeley in here, Eddie Lacy, Burkhead. I mean, you got a lot of names that are in the NFL or not in the NFL at all. So this was kind of a little throwback there. You got Will Compton there, who I believe, I want to say he played for the Bengals, or he currently plays for the Bengals. I can't remember exactly, but there's just some names out there that you'll see here that are guys that are currently in NFL or maybe not anymore. But it's going to be really fun to go back and play those. Now, oddly enough, I did look up and see that there are people have been playing this game, and also 14, of course, been redoing the rosters for every year they've redone the off rosters since this game and since 14 been released. But I do have the current rosters for this upcoming season, so. If I wanted to, I could restart this whole series with maybe even with a new school, and maybe recreate Coach Teddy Bonds, and put that together as a new series. But I decided, no, I'm not gonna go through all that again. I'm just gonna kind of just leave off where I left off at, and this kind of be an on again, off again kind of series that, like I said, we'll play through the course of the year, so like that. Just whenever I feel like playing it. We may play a season. I may take a hiatus. I hope not to be a 3-year hiatus like it has been since the last time we played this. But kind of playing it here and then playing it there, because the schedule will kind of just change up here. I am going to be more Madden focused as Madden we're getting closer and closer to that. And like again, I don't know when this video is going to come out, but there either should be a Madden video up on the channel by now, or there may be one after this video comes out. So I don't exactly know when this video will be up, because I am working on several videos here. A lot of the videos that have been up or have been up before this video came up or been after, been all kind of pre-made, because I'll be going back to work here soon. If you guys don't know, but I do work during the school year. I work at a university in their food services in their marketing area. So I work with that, doing that, and I get pretty busy, especially during the beginning of the school year. With they got some new restaurants and stuff like that in the food court there. So it's gonna be kind of busy and kind of hectic for the first 2 weeks of the year, but then everything should be settled down. So I'm trying to get enough videos up and going for you guys, so you guys can have at least a steady pace of stuff going on. That's why right now today's date is the August 16th. So there may not have been too many videos out that week as I'm doing this video, and that's the reason why. So kind of trying to work ahead here and trying to see exactly video wise, trying to put up enough stuff. I'm trying to get caught up in certain things like the Royals franchise, trying to get that up and going, trying to finish that up so I can move that over to 17, and then also trying to catch up on a lot of stuff in the Cardinals franchise on MLB 17, the show, and then of course the Road to Show characters, along with NBA. Because we're going to be adding we're going to have a new My Career in NBA this year also too. We're going to kind of continue playing with Bart at some point here, but we'll probably kind of wrap that up here at some point here. I kind of want to get the first season done with him and then kind of introduce a new person. Maybe continue him if it gets if we get it really gets interesting. But yeah, I mean, there's gonna be some series that we're gonna kind of wrap up and we're gonna kind of put in the back and just say, we're done with this. But for other than that, we're just new games are coming out, and new series are gonna be featured here on the channel, especially hockey for the first time. We're gonna have a hockey series here, and I'll have a video about that too. So there's, like I said, I'm working on a lot of videos for you guys here. And just trying to get ready for this upcoming year, because this last half of these last 4 months here this year, it's going to be really busy. So not just in my personal life, but here on the channel and just in gaming and just in general. So bear with me. We'll probably go back to the old schedule I had before, where you'll see videos, maybe see one maybe 2 if you get lucky, every other day of the week there. And then, of course, you're wrestling heavy on the weekends when there's big wrestling events coming up, like this. Well, by now you guys already seen it already, but SummerSlam's coming up here, so we got the NXT pay-per-view takeover, and of course SummerSlam itself coming up. So, like I said, working on a lot of stuff, working on a lot of different projects, and just trying to get things going. Now, I apologize, I'm not paying attention to what's on the screen right here, but we are looking at some awards here, and you guys can take a look at those as we go along here. But yeah, going back to this right here about this series here, I've been wanting to play the college football for a lot. And I've been, besides with the inspiration of, college football coming back in the picture here, and really amped about that because I think last year I didn't follow college football at all. Excuse me. So, when it comes to players like that, I don't know who the popular talk of the players are and stuff like that. Excuse me. But, yeah, I'm trying to get back into that and trying to follow that more closely like I used to before. And, try to get back into playing this game. Because I do have a good dynasty going on right now. We have some really good players that are coming in, and we'll show you that here towards the end of the video. We got a lot of players that are going to be leaving us, like that guy right there, Cameron Mathith right there. He's going to be leaving us here. He's a senior, a redshirt senior there, and this will be his last year. So he's done. And of course we got to bring in some new guys. Got to bring in some new blood here, and keep this dynasty alive. But yeah, I think I said this before in the first video, but Nebraska Cornhuskers, they are one of my favorite college football teams. They have a lot of history, especially around this area. When you talk about football, you either talk about Cornhusker football, or you talk about K-State football. Not so much about KU football, even though KU's had some small glimpse of glory there for a while. They went to the Orange Bowl a couple of years back in, 2006, 2007. Had a really good run there with Turner and stuff like that. But since then, not so much. They're getting, year by year, they're getting a little bit better at some things and getting a little worse in others. Really, to me, I mean, KU is a basketball school. I mean, let's just put it plain simple there. But yeah, Nebraska, they're one of my favorite teams. I'm actually got plans on going to a Cornhuskers game this year with a good friend of mine, my buddy Steve, who is also a Cornhuskers fan. So we're gonna go. I'm looking at some tickets now, and we'll be talking to him here pretty soon about that, and about possibly going to Memorial Stadium. And if I do go, I'll make sure I have some kind of video or some kind of pictures, stuff like that I can show you guys here here on the channel. But yeah, they're one of my favorite, like, all-time favorite football teams, and especially back in the days, they're in the. It was the late 80s, early 90s. They were just a dominant football team. You got Tom Osborne, one of the most, like, awesome football coaches of all time. I think I also mentioned that, kind of Teddy Bonds is kind of that my version of Tom Osborne, kind of a Tom Osborne, Lombardi, kind of an old school mentality when it comes to football. Taking personal responsibility for what you do on the field, and also off the field, and not dragging stuff on, and just you're here to play football, and that's what you need to do, and all that personal stuff needs to be kind of taken to the side, and just just not kind of a no nonsense guy, using common sense type of coach. So that's what I'm hoping to bring here in this series. Now, I will say, and going back and saying this now as I think about it, Coach Teddy Bonds is not the coach of the Nebraska Cornhuskers franchise here. He is on my, the game before this one, which was in the 2012 game. And I've got several years on that one, and that game I'm never going to give up. Every so often I'll sit down and play that. I'm like, oh yeah, I got it. I still have it. But as for this series, it's actually going to be Bo Pelini. Now, I know you're probably thinking to yourself, Bo Pelini is no longer with the Cornhuskers no more. There's a whole different coach, a whole different regime, and I know that. I understand. But we're just going to play along like he's still there. So we're gonna play along like he's still there, and then maybe somewhere here, after maybe season 2, I think I'll probably wait till season 3. We'll bring in Coach Teddy Bonds and have him take over. We'll just say Coach Teddy Bonds is kind of a liaison of the Cornhuskers here. I was thinking about bringing Coach Teddy Bonds back into the fold here on the channel, bring him back as a coach or maybe even an owner in the upcoming franchise series that we have here, which is by now, I probably already named it already, and I'll just go ahead and say if I have it, well, surprise. But it will be the Dallas Cowboys. It'll be the Cowboys. We'll have by now there should be a video already up about that. That should be already up. If it's not, well, spoiler alert. We are going to follow the Dallas Cowboys this season for Madden 18. So that'll be the team that we will be just like all the others. Just like the Packers and the Steelers from last year, the Falcons and the Colts. We're going to be following the Cowboys and try and get America's team to be America's team once again. So we're going to do that. And, of course, the reason behind that is because of course, Zeke Elliott. He's going to be out for a couple of games for this season. We'll write that into the storyline there about that. And, of course, one of my favorites, Dak Prescott. I mean, what a story he is. And just, I've been reading some articles about his career, him playing at Mississippi State, and then just how he came in the NFL and how he's just taken that team just by storm, just taking that team and just doing what he does, what he's been doing there, just playing great year. And, of course, the whole thing about, Tony Romo, of course, Romo now being a part of the CBS, Football Today or NFL Today team and stuff like that, crew and whatnot. Or no, is it? No, I think it's Fox. No, is it Fox? No, it's CBS. It's CBS because he's with. I can't think of the announcer's name now. Oh, I can't. Okay, never mind. It'll come to me. But yeah, he's gonna be part of CBS there. He's gonna be part of their team, the games and stuff like that. So that's gonna be really interesting to see. And and also too, the Cowboys have some issues with their defense. Not as bad as issues. I mean, they got a semi-decent defense. But you know how I am. I love building defenses and working on things. Having little projects there throughout the season. Working on corners and safeties and then branching out to the linebackers and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, that's going to be eventually be a series. But going back on this one, this is going to be a fun series here. Like I said, we got some really talented guys there. You see Taylor Martinez. Back in the day, he was they're Nebraska fans. We were kind of on the fence about him, and still kind of am. Looking back, he was a decent quarterback for us, but he was from California, and I think the idea of him being from California and then being here in the Midwest, it was kind of like one of those things like, okay, why do we got this kid who's from Cali who should be playing West Coast type of football here in the Midwest? He's just good at at the option. I mean, excellent runner there, but just arm wise, just like he had a noodle for arm. Honestly, it's just but yeah, this should be a fun series. I can't wait to restart the series. And like I said, this episode is kind of just this is the first part of the off season here. I'm not getting really into it. I will say that I'm going to miss Ben Cotton, one of our best receivers. He's a tight end there. You see 898 yards there for the year, 4 touchdowns. Kenny Bell, 660 yards there, and he also had a great year there too. 8 touchdowns. Oh, shoot, my alarm there. Had 8 touchdowns there for himself. So a good year for Bell. What else? Well, man, we had some pretty good, interesting things going on in this season. But, I mean, for the most part, I mean, it was just a great season. And it was a magical one I will definitely say here for the best. And again, this is going to start something here because, I mean, we got a good I love playing these dynasties. I love finding really good players who, are especially the 3-star guys who can just really just do a great job going in there and playing these roles here of working the, getting on the field and stuff like that. It really building those guys on here and doing, just building them up, build the squad up, and just getting them to be what we want them to be. So, just really, excuse me. Again, the reflection of how the coach plays and how I play, and just like our running. I mean, we got excellent halfback core there, I do in this game. That's what I like about this game so much. I do put in backups. I do put backups in. If we have a, if it's a 35-0 game, or just if we're just basically blowing them out of the water. By time the third quarter comes around, towards the second half of that, the second part, halfway through the second or third quarter there, I should say, halfway through the third quarter, I will take the starters out, and then I'll put the backups in, and that goes for both offense and defense. I will do that, and I have it play. I looked on here too. I looked at the substitutions and how I got them set up and stuff like that. So. That I'm not worried about. Everything that I had on there saved. Nothing's changed yet because I haven't touched a game for over 3 years. And it's kind of funny because actually, as I'm recording this today, which is like I said, the 16th, I looked on there and it was actually 3 years to the day. 3 years to the day that I stopped playing. So I find that funny. I find that very hilarious that happened, and we were able. I came back. I'm like, wow, that's funny. So, 3 years to the day that I stopped playing this series, and now we're picking it back up. So, like I said, we're gonna play on it as long as we can, and just kind of we'll have every episode will be a game just like before, highlight wise, and then every so often. I haven't decided if we're gonna have I was thinking about having like a kind of like what we did for what we've done for the. We started in the Green Bay series where we had a kind of a side like a show that we talked about statistics and kind of showed what was going around the league. I was thinking about doing the same thing here, just focusing on the Cornhuskers and what they do within the institution there, and I'm still up in the air about it. I don't know if I'm going to do it yet. If you guys have an idea, if you guys think I should do it, let me know down below in the comments section. I'll take a look at those and go from there. If not, then we'll probably just keep doing it episode by episode. The bye weeks probably the week, because I think there will be at least 2 bye weeks. I'll go ahead and I'll just on those bye weeks, I'll kind of show you guys the stats for the team. And then show you, statistically what, really like the, top 25. I'll keep I will try to keep up on a regular basis before and after the games. I'll show you guys the top 25, what it looks like. And I'll also put down in the description. I also do that too, because I know a lot of you guys, when I was starting this series, were always asking, hey, what's such and such doing in the top 25, or are they, winning or losing, or they having a successful year and stuff like that. So I'll leave that down below in the description of the top 25 before the week, and then I'll show you guys what the top 25 looks after the week on that. I'll break it down as that much for you guys, but other than that, you know, when it comes in the video wise, when I explain, I won't break it down too much. I'll just show you guys visually what it looks like, and then just kind of hit the high points of who's doing what, who's making a move, and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, like I said, the bye weeks I'll treat those as kind of a way I can wrap up everything. Show you guys what we're doing with our team, and then turn around and I'll show you guys what's going around NCAA wise around the different conferences and stuff like that. So like I said, the main purpose is really focusing on our team and our conference, which is the Big 12, or excuse me, Big 10, not the Big 12, but the Big 10, and going from there. So it should be a lot of fun, and for the most part here, it's been you know, I do play on All-American with some unique sliders. Actually, it was fun. It was kind of funny when I was you know, loading this game back up and looking at it and see, you know, where I left off at. The sliders actually are the same sliders that I looked up online before I started, you know, this back up again. So the slider set's real good. I like it. It's very competitive. You'll see, like you've seen there at the beginning of the video, you'll see a lot of close games, which, you know, you're gonna have those games. You're gonna have some close games where you're playing against really tough, you know, teams. Maybe even some of the unranked teams were really tough, and really fought you all the way down to the point where you wore them out, and then you just was able to take over. And which that should happen, because that happens because not everybody on the same level in college football, like they are in high school, in NFL. Different levels of play. Coaches have different types of styles. The conferences are very different, or night and day. Some conferences you got really a lot of top heavy players, like for instance SEC, and you got guys, you know, teams like Florida, Alabama, Florida, Alabama, Georgia, you know, South Carolina, and then you got other teams, you know, other conferences that are just, they have one team that just dominates everybody. For instance, like you know, I'm trying to think, you know, ACC, well, not ACC, Big 12, you're like Texas, Oklahoma. You got those teams that are just, they're staples, you know, cornerstones of that division, and they go year in, year out with, you know, really good, outstanding records, and just have really good seasons. So, but yeah, I mean, there's a lot of close games I had on there that I'm like, wow, I can't believe this getting this close. Or there's teams that I was playing against, I'm like, wow, I can't believe I'm blowing them out of the water. You know, it's like, okay. But yeah, for the most part here, I just can't wait to restart this series. And again, like I said, this video is just kind of just showing you guys what we're at so far at this point. Here you see some of the players there that are draft results here. There you see Martinez there, 6th round. He was of course a junior redshirt there, and he went on to the NFL. You got Burkhead, who went 2nd round. Stafford went 3rd round. Meredith went to 3rd round, and then 5th round there for the defensive tackle. And then Cotton there, you see there, one of my favorite players there. I just love throwing to him. The guy could just catch anything. I mean, just put the ball anywhere, and he was there. So I'm gonna really miss him. He's a 6th round guy. There you see 85 overall, and I'm gonna miss him. Gonna miss the guy. But we do have some really good, talented tight ends coming in that we've drafted, and I'll show you guys that in the next episode. Drafted, wow, that we recruited coming up in the next game. And also, too, I'll show you guys some position-wise in part 2 of the offseason. I will actually break it down for you guys and show you guys what we did scouting. Scouting-wise for the next episode, I will go ahead and say this before we wrap it up. I'm gonna get into a little bit here. I'm just gonna show you guys some of the key players that we were looking at, because I wrote down some notes and stuff that some players that we're going to be looking at and what we want to do with them wise and when it comes to the team and such. So that'll be in the next episode. I'll show you guys that. And again, for scouting wise, I'm not going to show you guys everything in scouting. I'm just going to show you just the high points of scouting. I'm not going to show you all the, we have this person coming in or whatever. I'll just kind of skim it and just show you guys, hey, this guy's coming in. We're targeting him for this reason why, and then kind of move from each, move around to certain players and certain positions that we are in need. And right now, the only thing we need right now is just another decent halfback come in here to help us out. So, defensive wise, I think we look pretty good defensively because we did lose some big, important people on the defensive side, but I set it up to where you just next guy up, next man up comes up and plays. So, and that should be helping us out here. But like I said, we got some good players here that we got some gems, and of course we got a couple of people that we scouted and we gave scholarships to that we shouldn't have. And then like I said, we'll work on that. We'll do training and all that kind of stuff just like before, and show you guys how about that. So I can't wait for this. This should be a fun series. I think you guys will really enjoy it. I can't wait to bring it back, and can't wait to play some college football, man. It's been a while. I might have to play some exhibition games here just to get myself going. So just kind of get the rust off. But that will be coming up here. The second part of the off season will be coming up here very, very soon. So stay tuned for that. I know I said a lot there today in this video, but again, I don't know when this video is going to come out yet. But there will be some kind of update video here on the channel for the channel wise about what's going on here on the channel, and we'll get to that here very, very soon. So stay tuned for that coming up. But that is it for this episode here in NCAA 13 Nebraska Cornhuskers Dynasty. If you guys enjoyed the video today, please leave a like. Also, don't forget to smack that subscription button if you have not yet subscribed here to ESGNet. Shame on you. Ugh. Dang it, kids. Generation these days. Hit that like button, or hit the like button, and also hit the subscribe button to subscribe for more from ESGNet. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Tumblr. Links are down below in the description. Follow us there for the latest news and events here on the channel to get the latest on what's going on in sports gaming and in sports in general. So thank you guys so much for watching. As always, keep yourselves healthy, and I will see you guys next time.